Oh, IGN. Oh, we're back here. We're back on IGN. Why are we back on IGN, ladies and gentlemen? Why are we back on IGN? Because IGN have hired a man that advocates actual violence in real life. Actual acts of violence. Punishable by the law. Right? And yet he doesn't want white phosphorus used in a video game. Oh, a contradiction, hypocrite, piece of shit. Mr. John Phipps. Phipps. That's an interesting name to say, isn't it? Phipps. Say it with me now. John Phipps is a douche. Words can't describe how much of a massive douchebag you are. Come at me, bruh, I guess. How can you justify this argument, son? How can you justify advocating actual violence, actual acts of violence, punishable under the full extent of the law, but you don't want white phosphorus in a video game? John, mate, are you trying out for the Olympics? Because the mental gymnastics are insane. You're a top athlete, son. You really are. So what am I talking about? Why am I talking about this? Well, look, people have been banging on at me for years to talk about video game news, and now you get it. IGN is hiring actual... What can we call these people? I mean, people that actually advocate the use of violence in real life. Hello! Mr. John Phipps. Phipps. What does he say? I'd be cool with throwing a milkshake at a racist dipshit. And I know, ladies and gents, everyone's going to go, what? Doesn't matter, milkshakes. Bah! I think you'd be pretty pissed if it was you, wouldn't you? You know it's assault. Categorized by law. So let's not have any of this really, really pathetic counter-argument of, oh, it's only a milkshake. Bah. So, who cares? People only make jokes, and you will only get offended by them. I only put Jesus flying through space on a t-shirt, and you are only offended by it. Let's not beat around the semantics of it. This is against the law. You are advocating, Mr. John Phipps, actual acts of violence, and yet you have the audacity to lecture people like you're an authority, when actually, what I didn't know when I made the first video, oh, you completed a 5-year enlistment. I had a bunch of people tell me that that's only one tour. In fact, you only did the bare minimum, and then you exited. Now, I don't know what that says about you, because I'm sure that there are other people that have done that, and they left for very justifiable means. However, I don't think they're the ones bitching about the use of white phosphorus in a game, whilst talking about actual acts of violence. Sonny Jim Bob! And it gets better as well, ladies and gents. Obviously, I wouldn't do a video just on that. Come on now. Here we goes. Look at it! LMAO if you think effing milkshakes are violence. Well, mate, under the law of the land, they actually are violence. I know, fucking shock horror, son. Fucking shock horror. But yes, no, they are actually violence. What don't you understand about that? I'm just going to let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. This man. Can we call him a man? I don't know. This Phipps doesn't believe that your laws govern him. He thinks he's above the law. Why is that? And here we go. He continues, right? He's got a thing for milkshakes. I don't know. Maybe he's got a dairy fetish or something. Good morning. Gay and trans men, women, are getting killed for who they are. So please forgive me if I don't give an F about you being terrified of getting a milkshake thrown at you. I'm sorry. They're two completely different things, aren't they? What a pathetic argument you have there. The fact that gay, trans men, trans women are being killed is abhorrent. Doesn't condone acts of violence, though, does it? How have you correlated the two? What? And he continues. I'm really hoping Wolfenstein Youngblood includes a cheat that allows me to one-shot Nazis with milkshake. You're sounding like a real... Oh no, I won't say the word. But you're sounding a lot like something that you dislike. Aren't you? You believe the law is beneath you. You believe that only your way is the right way. Oh, John Phipps. You're a terrible human being. You really are. You really, really are. Awful person. You are a terrible human being, John Phipps. I really hope your singular tour as a Marine has given you that much needed boost that you very evidently needed to feel like a man. Unbelievable. He literally just spends all of his time on Twitter. And look, I can't, I'm not going to moan too much about it because, I do spend my time on the internet, but I don't sit there on Twitter replying to people all the time. Here we go. So he's trying to defend himself a little bit here. Yes, I have no evidence of serving in Iraq aside from the Iraq campaign medal listed above. Also, his criteria for a car. Do you know what, Mr. Negative? I don't give a shit where you served. You could have served... it doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant. It's funny how you have clearly gone to war and defended the Western culture only to suddenly start the advocation of milkshaking people and believing that the law is below you. I'm baffled how you can do that. Who cares if you saw combat? Who cares? Literally, who cares? It's not relevant. It's not relevant at all. You serving is totally irrelevant, mate. Awful. You're an awful human being with an awful mindset. No, dipshit, the image you posted. God, you're a violent, angry little man, aren't you? You really, really are. Please know, everyone that thinks I'm a hypocrite, I have never advocated acts of violence against anyone. In fact, I've gone on record many times and said that violence against people is utterly nonsense. It is just pathetic. It really is pathetic. Because it goes to show just how small-minded you really are if you believe acts of violence is the way to resolve your issues. I've had acts of violence recently proposed against me. I'm not rising to it. I don't know. I'm not about violence. I'm not about violence against anyone. Because the moment you start advocating violence, you've lost the argument. You really have. And this is what this guy's all about. He's a very, very angry little man. Just talking about beating people up and bloody throwing milkshakes on them. You're an awful human being, Mr. Negative. John
Phipps.
You're an awful human being. I don't care where you served. It's not relevant to anything. Not relevant to anything. I don't think anyone really cares where you served. No one should care about your opinion. And I really do hope IGN deletes this article. They won't, because they're ignorant. Hence, IGN, clues in the name. But why would they have you writing a virtue signalling BS article when you sit there and you believe the law is above you, is beneath you? It is violence, mate. There's no two ways about it. Whatever. It makes me lose the will to live. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts, because this is utter nonsense. Let me know down below in the comments. If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe. You can stay up to date on the world of pop culture, movie news, and deep dives into nonsense like this. If you've seen anything that you want me to talk about, please do tweet it to me over at Mr. H Reviews over on Twitter. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Mr. H. Take care.